Hello, folks. This is Pastor Mike Hoggard, pastor of Bethel Church in Festus, Missouri, and head of prophetic research ministry with another Watchman video broadcast coming to you from our top secret broadcasting compound here in Festus, Missouri. And at least I'm smart enough to know what bathroom to go into, or I think I am. We're going to be talking about several things today. I'm going to get to what I talked about on the blog the other day. I'm going to talk about, I've got a lot to show you about a concept called Joel's Army. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or not. We're going to be dealing with that here, and I promise you, your eyes are going to be open when you see what I have to show you today. I'm going to talk about new bathrooms. I'm going to talk about a new Messiah, a new Savior that we have. You can't wait to see this one. And lots of other things. Anyway, Maine considers banning biology-based restrooms. A proposal by the Maine Human Rights Commission to establish a broad right for transgender boys to use girls' restrooms in all Maine schools will be the subject of a public hearing scheduled by the Commission March 1st. The plan, if given ultimate approval by the Commission, will establish mandatory transgender restrooms access rules for all Maine schools. The proposal was prompted by a decision last year that found a school in Arona, Asa Adams School, discriminated against a boy by denying him access to the girls' restroom. Yeah, right. Ridiculous. Absolute. I'm moving on. I won't even give that any more thought. Somebody sent me this. This is from searchsecurity.co.uk. I believe that we're heading to a situation in our world. You know, I read the other day that Google is going to start being an ISP, an internet service provider. Let's see. Google, who went to the Bilderberg meeting, who is databasing what everybody searches for and compiling evidence that way. They are cooperating with the National Security Administration, and now they're going to start, offering everybody ISP service, so that they can pretty much track and monitor everything that you do online. Well, here's another aspect to that. There's an article called Preventing Password Fatigue. Now, let's think about this. Doesn't it really tire you out when you log on your computer to have to keep typing your password in? I'm wore out. I can't take anymore. So here's a solution to prevent what's called password fatigue with something called a single sign-on authentication. I'm going to read you the first part of this article. It says, have you ever thought about how many usernames and passwords your employees have to remember and enter during the course of a regular day? There are too many off-site applications and resources such as data centers, cloud applications, social networking sites, blah, 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 to expect employees to use a unique, truly strong password for each one of them. Most will use the same password for every service, particularly if you enforce the password expiry policy. The article goes on to finding an alternative multiple password and on and on. Basically, it's going to be a system. I suspect that it's going to have something to do with biometrics, that you log into your computer using your physical body, your physical personal identification. That way, everything that you do on that computer is going to be linked directly to you. Now, here's what caught my eye on this. I wasn't going to pay too much attention to this, but here is what caught my eye. There's a protocol now that they're developing, an open source protocol that they're developing on this, and it's part of what's called the Shibboleth Project. Does that ring a bell to you? Judges chapter 12. Here's where it comes from. Judges chapter 12, and the Gileadites took the passages of Jordan before the Ephraimites, and it was so that when those Ephraimites which were escaped said, let me go over, that the men of Gilead said unto him, art thou an Ephraimite? And if he said, nay, which means no, then said they unto him, say now, Shibboleth. And he said, Sibboleth, for he could not frame to pronounce it right. Then they took him and slew him at the passages of Jordan, and there fell at that time of the Ephraimites 40 and 2,000. This was a password that the Gileadites, led by, I think it was Jephthah, the judge, the Gileadites were requiring of the Ephraimites to make sure that they were not coming in to destroy their area. And so they used this password because they knew the Ephraimites could not pronounce it right. Incidentally, Shibboleth is a free... Let's see. Let's get out Big Albert here. Shibboleth is a Freemasonic password. It has something... I haven't figured it out yet, but it has something to do with what's going on in this world today. And oh, by the way, I went to the Shibboleth website. I love their logo. You know, nice, red fiery dragon with eagle's wings and an eagle's head. Anyway, here's our new savior. Oh my goodness. Lindsay Lohan has posed as Jesus for the front cover of a fashion magazine. The 23-year-old Hollywood actress graces the front. And see, that's interesting to me. The number 23 is the number for sacrifice, crucifixion. You know, the 23-year-old Hollywood actress graces in the front of edgy French publication Purple. By the way, Mystery Babylon's color is purple. Oprah Winfrey was in a play in a movie called The Color Purple. There's all kinds of Mystery Babylon overtones in this movie. But anyway, this French publication Purple dressed in a plunging long-sleeve white outfit with her arms outstretched in a pose resembling Jesus' crucifixion. Lindsay also wears a headdress which looks like a crown of thorns for the shots, which were taken by Gucci photographer Terry Richardson. Lindsay wears a variety of different designer clothes for the photographs inside the publication, including blah, 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 blah. Here's our new savior here. Now, somebody, and I appreciate what everybody's sending me, and I tell you, somebody sent me, and I'm going to read an email to you today from one of our faithful watchers. I appreciate everything that everybody sends me, and I do read the stuff. May not have time to respond to everybody, but I do read all the emails. And this one here really caught my attention. And I'm just going to show you some things out in the world. Then I'm going to show you some things from the Bible. I want you to be careful about what you're watching on television. And I do want you to be careful about following all of these natural health websites or these natural healing processes or things like that. Be very careful when it comes to these things. You say, well, Pastor Mike, big pharmaceuticals are out to kill us. Okay, probably so. We're going to die anyway. And I'm not in the pocket of big pharmaceuticals, but I'm not a big fan of most of these natural healing websites and these healing remedies and this and that and the other. I think there's something up with this. There's a show, and I haven't seen this show. It's the Dr. Oz or something like that. I don't remember what it was. But I'm going to show you this video clip. This is from YouTube. I'm going to show you this video clip. This was one of these popular syndicated medical shows that are on TV now. And he is espousing and promoting a new, well, it's not really new. This thing goes back thousands of years. This is a form of contemplative prayer called Reiki. And I want you to listen to what he says in this. He's going to talk about the East meeting the West and kind of fusing together. He's going to talk about, you hear him say, it's going to heal your mind, your body, and your soul. Well, I'm going to tell you something. The only healing for your soul is the cross of Jesus Christ in this Bible right here. He talks about energy medicine. He talks about different things like that, balancing practice. So let me give you this idea of balance. Let me use Albert here. Balance is a Masonic term. It's a New Age term. Balance basically means, and I'm going to show you this from the Bible here before too long. Balance is the sons of God and the daughters of men mingled together in the same book. That's what balance is. When you hear Orientals talk about balance and centering, that's exactly what they're getting at. You're going to see things in here that are similar to what's called Shakti or Shaktipat. This is a New Age Eastern mysticism way of basically imparting, listen to that word, imparting demons or familiar spirits into you. And it's very, very similar, and this is going to tie in with Joel's Army. This is extremely similar to a lot of these impartation ministries that are going around right now. So I want you to watch this video of this doctor promoting this Japanese, Oriental, Eastern mysticism, familiar spirit impartation called Reiki. Take a look.
We have got another great show for everybody today. So get comfortable. It's a brand new year. So make this the year you try something brand new. Now, you're about to see things that are going to challenge everything you think you know about what makes you well. You know, I've worked and trained in some of the finest medical schools and hospitals in this country. And I know firsthand the amazing miracles we can achieve with modern Western medicine. But I also know that for centuries, people around the world have developed alternative therapies to treat the body, mind, and the soul. So today, I'm revealing my ultimate alternative medicine secrets. If you've got a medical problem you can't solve, you may find the answer in the next few minutes. Start by paying attention to this. It provides me a good segue into what I think may be ultimately the most important alternative medicine treatment of all. And we are embarking on this whole new vista of opportunities. It broadens dramatically the spectrum of where we might be able to go in our bodies. And this is the area of energy medicine. And joining me today is Pamela Miles. Pamela's actually been to the operating room with me where we have done Reiki, and you're a Reiki master. My wife Lisa is a Reiki master. So when the kids get sick, when I'm out of sorts, she actually comes by. I can't even tell when she's treating me. Sometimes she secretly treats me. She thinks I'm in a bad mood, and I see hands moving around, but I actually feel the heat. If you don't mind, maybe we can do some Reiki. And
certainly.
Have you had Reiki therapy before?
I have not.
Okay, so once you try it, and as you're doing, if you don't mind explaining, Pamela, a little bit about Reiki.
Certainly. Reiki is a balancing practice. And so rather than addressing the headache or whatever else is the problem, what it does is it influences the person's overall system toward balance. And then as her system becomes more balanced, symptoms tend to fall away. Then over time, for example, if you get headaches, you may find that you get them less frequently.
Do you feel anything, Dalita?
Oh, yes, my headache's going away.
Your headache's going away?
Yes.
And do you feel any heat?
Yes.
Because those are usually what I feel. Here are the 3 things I want you to remember from today's show. First off, try Reiki. This alternative medicine treatment can manipulate your energy and cure what ails you.
I did a little research on this from Lighthouse Trails Research. They've got some good articles on there in different ways about how Reiki is moving into the church, through contemplative prayer or through all these other practices. Let's look at a few quotes here. The Reiki technique consists of placing the hands on the recipient and then activating the energy to flow. Have you heard those words come from these impartation ministries? Todd Bentley talks about the flow that he's in. To activate the energy to flow through the practitioner into the recipient. One practitioner describes the experience in the following way. When doing it, I become a channel. Think about that one. Through which this force, that's like Star Wars, this juice of the universe comes pouring from my palms into the body of the person I am touching. That is exactly what a lot of these impartation ministries are all about. Sometimes lightly, almost imperceptibly, sometimes in famished, sucking drafts. I get it even as I'm giving it. It surrounds the two of us, patient and practitioner. What is this juice of the universe? The answer is an important one given by a renowned Reiki master who explains this. A Reiki attunement is an initiation into a sacred metaphysical order that has been present on earth for thousands of years. By becoming part of this group, you will also be receiving help from the Reiki guides and other spiritual beings who are also working toward these goals. While this is not widely advertised, Reiki practitioners depend on this spirit guide connection as an integral aspect of Reiki. In fact, it is the very foundation and energy behind Reiki. One Reiki master who has enrolled hundreds of others masters spoke of her interaction with the spirit guides. For me, the Reiki guides make themselves the most felt while attunements are being passed. They stand behind me and direct the whole process, and I assume they also do this for every Reiki master. When I pass attunements, I feel their presence strongly and constantly. Sometimes I can see them. And I will tell you this whole thing, they call it therapeutic touch. Doctors are using this. Chiropractors, especially. Be careful about the chiropractor you go to. If you pull up to the chiropractor's office and they have this yin-yang symbol on there, go somewhere else. Okay? Go have your wife stand on your back for about 15 minutes, see if she can pop it or get it in line. Stay away from these people. The Bible says, lay hands on no man suddenly. Be careful about the church service you're in, about the doctrines that you're thinking about getting into, about the impartation that you want to receive. Let me give you my personal testimony for a minute.